Hello, I'm the Original Cartographer, and this is the 24th video in my Fallout 76 main quest series. In the last video we became a general, which is why we have this uniform here, and we are now in the Enclave Command Center, where all the nuclear missile silo launch information is, and we're going to take a look at all that stuff. I was just going to say I was going to make this video about all the lore you can find here within this bunker, but then I realized that doesn't really fall within the purview of this series. And the main reason for that is that this entire video would be taken up with nothing but reading lore and listening to lore and all things like that, which is something that I definitely want to do, but it's not really something that falls within the main quest series. We wouldn't be making any real forward momentum on the main quest if we were to do that. So I'm going to leave that for the Surveil series, and I will be making that video here very soon. But for the moment, we're going to simply go over all the stuff that we have to learn here, and then start the process of getting to where we can launch a nuclear missile. So, that's what we have to do here. We are now on the quest, I Am Become Death. Let's take a look at that. Complete all the nuclear training tutorials, and optionally speak to a command terminal to bypass the tutorials. But we're not going to do that. We're going to actually look at these tutorials right over here. They have these four little terminals, and not terminals, but stations, and we can take a look at them now. So, nuclear keycards.
Greetings, General. Welcome to your nuclear launch training session. Over the course of the next 4 posters, you'll be taught everything you need to know about utilizing the Appalachian Automated Launch System. During your briefing, you should have been issued a nuclear keycard. During an actual launch, you will need to insert the card into the designated slot before entering your launch code, at which point the keycard will be consumed. Additional card drops will be brought in by automated convoy should the DEFCON rating continue to worsen. You may speak to your logistics officer as to the location of the pickup for your additional cards, should the circumstances arise.
And oh, have they arisen. This DEFCON rating the General speaks of has been pegged at its maximum for some time now, due to the hazardousness unleashed by our earlier guests. The silver lining of this is that one can often find a keycard convoy en route somewhere in Appalachia. We're happy to use our restored surveillance tools to help you track them. Access any of the surveillance system terminals to initiate your hunt.
Okay, so yeah, he actually mentioned some stuff there that we're going to be going over in that lore reading video for the Surveil series. But on to the next station.
To prevent misuse of Appalachia's automated missile silos, security measures for the region's nuclear arsenal have been increased well beyond any of our existing standards. Each silo has its own 8-digit launch code, which is valid for a single week. These codes are broken into 8 individual number-letter pairs, each carried by a designated officer who is under strict orders to guard their code piece with their life. The order of numbers has been encrypted using a series of methods to prevent improper deployment. The bunker staff of specially trained code decryptors will provide the officer corps with the code when it is renewed each week.
The decryptors, it should come as no surprise, are dead. It will be up to you and your fellow members to decrypt each silo's launch code before they are regenerated. We, however, might be able to help. We've gathered all the information we could recover related to the codes and their encryption in the archives on this floor. It's also our belief that the flip card displays in this room had something to do with the code. What exactly, we leave up to you and your compatriots to uncover. And we're more than happy to use our surveillance systems to track down the last known locations of these code-bearing officers. Just approach any of our surveillance terminals.
Okay, on to automated silos.
The missile silos of Appalachia are equipped with an advanced robotic construction system, allowing them to rapidly rebuild their arsenals in a matter of hours. The silos themselves are defended by a robotic task force and staffed with a contingent of special clearance human missileers. Security protocols require all silo entrants, regardless of rank, be escorted by a missileer at all times. Entering a silo without escort will be treated as a hostile act.
We're unable to peer inside the silos themselves, but we are confident in saying we doubt any such escort still lives. You will be on your own once you're through the door.
Okay, and nuclear fallout and mutations.
Due to the region's advanced missile installations, there is a high chance of a retaliatory nuclear strike touching down somewhere in Appalachia. The intense radiation released by such a blast can have devastating effects on the local flora and fauna, mutating them into hideous monstrosities fit only for a quick death.
To the contrary, General. Our memory banks suggest quite the opposite. Our previous residents managed to acquire samples of some materials created shortly after the first bombs fell, and what they found was illuminating, to say the least. Materials of exceptional versatility and volatility. However, if you can stabilize them fast enough, a jaunt into a blast zone, it seems, could be a productive one. Documentation related to these materials can be found in the archives as well. The fissures that have cropped up around the region seem promising as possible sources of materials, along with some added pest control. The map in this room contains the locations of these fissures, if you're looking for a target.
Okay, so that was all four of those tutorial posters that we just finished there, and we can now go over to the tracking terminal here, the Modus command terminal.
Now, with that out of the way, it's about time you got your hands dirty. There are a few key paths you should explore. Acquiring a nuclear keycard, hunting down a few code officers, and delving into the nature of the launch code's encryption in our archives. Everything you need to get started, you should find in this space. How to proceed, though, we leave up to you. But please, feel free to ask our terminals if you have any questions. Good hunting, General.
Okay, so yeah, we can of course always just go off and look for those code pieces on our own, specifically just trying to find those feral ghoul and scorched officers and get the code pieces off of them. But there's also this surveillance system terminal here, and that will also help us find a nuclear keycard. So let's take a look at this. Initiate search for a nuclear keycard escort. Initiate a search for the Silo Alpha code piece. Initiate a search for a Silo Bravo code piece. And initiate a search for a Silo Charlie code piece. So we're going to start off by looking for a nuclear keycard escort. Okay. User surveillance mission detected. Intercept marked target before initiating additional missions. Okay, so. Alright, so they don't seem to be showing up on the map right at the moment, but we should be able to find it. Let's see if we can just search for it real quick. Okay, there it is. Right down there by the entrance to the Big Bend Tunnel and Fort Defiance. So, I'm going to repair some weapons real quick because everything is still quite broken from last time, and we'll hit the road. Alright, well unfortunately I am somehow completely out of aluminum. I really don't know how that happened, but anyway, we're going to go take care of this cargo bot, which is now flown up above the cliff in the time that it took me to repair all that stuff, which is going to make it much harder to get to. Let's see. Nope. Unfortunately, it's not like an event where you can just warp to it. So, Huntersville, I guess, is the closest location. Alright, let's see how this works out. not really what we're after, but I mean, if we're going to be going after a nuclear key card, or key codes anyway, might as well come after this guy real quick. Okay. Silo code piece for Silo Bravo T2.
Ah, you've acquired your code piece. We mean sincerely that the officer is almost certainly now in a better place. If you require additional code pieces, please return to the White Spring, and we can aid you in finding the next. If this was your last, well, we look forward to seeing the fireworks.
That's kind of funny because we weren't even looking for one. We didn't actually track one on the surveillance system. We're after the nuclear key card. But anyway, I was gonna head that way going down there, but it looks like we're gonna have to go up past the super mutants. And given that we're sneaking, it's highly unlikely we're gonna catch up to this thing in time. But I'd rather not enrage an entire town of super mutants right at the moment. Oh god. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've been seeing so many of those things lately. Whew. Okay, see what I mean? By the time we get anywhere near close to it, it's already all the way off over here. Let's try Vault 63 and head east from that way. Alright. Alright, there it is. And it's followed by these Strategic Air Command vertibots. There's one. There's two. And three. With the escort gone, we can now focus on this thing. Looks like those engines take the most damage. There it goes. Took it down. Oh, there goes the little package it was holding. That's really what we're after. Okay, we can now steal from it. Okay, nuclear keycard.
Of secure transport container. Starting self-destruct countdown under dropkick protocol. Detonation in 5 minutes unless valid cancellation code received.
Okay, let's go check and see if we can loot these things. And they took enough of our ammo. It'd be nice if we could, but it doesn't look like it. No? Okay. Well, we now have our nuclear keycard at least, so let's head back to the bunker. Okay, so I figured we can go in the front way this time. Okay, now bear with me a minute because I have trouble finding it through this way. So yeah, this is the Governor's Ballroom, I believe? No, the West Virginia room, I guess. Let's see if we can use this. Nope. There's also the Governor's Ballroom that has hand scanners on it. And the Allegheny room, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I believe I know where we are now. So, head up the stairs. And right on over here. And a random hand scanner. Well, that's the unfortunate thing is occasionally if the game's having some trouble with connection, I think it does that where it just automatically opens like that, but usually it's a lot more cinematic. There you go. Looks a lot cooler, at least not really all that cinematic, I suppose. Alright, here we go. Alright, so here we are at the resort entrance. And we can head right back through here and get on up to the command center. Alright, now there is information in here on how to decrypt the codes and everything like that, but we're going to go look for all the code pieces we need. But let's just take a look real quick and see what code pieces we actually currently have. Are they in miscellaneous? I honestly can't remember where you typically find them. There's the nuclear keycard right there. Yes, they're in notes for whatever reason. So we have 2 silo codes for Bravo and 1 for Alpha. I have actually already been through Bravo once, and I actually taped that. So we're going to try going through Alpha this... Well, yeah, we'll go through Alpha this time, given that we already still have one of those. So, we're going to be looking for the remaining 7 pieces of the Alpha code that we're going to need. So, we need to use the surveillance terminal and look for a code piece from Alpha. Okay. Hide and seek and destroy started up again. And let's see if we can find that on the map. Alright, so it's somewhere up here near the Atlas Observatory. Closest location we have, Relay Tower LW-B1-22. Alright. The Atlas Observatory is actually a very interesting location. Definitely something that I'm going to have to hit up in the Surveil series because I have to think that's going to change dramatically at some point because there's very little actual content there. But there's a huge amount of potential because the Atlas Observatory is a weather-making site. They actually created a blizzard in the middle of August, at some point before the war. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to whatever it is they end up doing with the Atlas Observatory. There are some terminals in there with information on there. That's how I know the blizzard in August information. But a lot of the stuff is just left with like a data corrupted sort of a thing. Interesting, got a crashed plane here. Not sure the map is loading correctly. Because there are some wires going nowhere. Okay, there's a road forming that wasn't here before, and now power poles and cars. And my guess, oh, the possums. Okay, there he is. Alright. Let's see what code piece we get. Silo Alpha code piece J-0. Alright. Now we're still going to need 6 more. I'm just going to go over here because if I'm right, then I know where a minigun is, and I'd like to just grab one so I've got a heavy weapon for my stash, because currently the only heavy weapon I have is that bunker buster, or tank buster, or whatever that legendary missile launcher is we got from the... Whoa, things are not... Whoa, holy... Jeez. The bunker buster or tank buster, whatever it is, that thing weighs 43 pounds, and I have no missiles. I haven't been here since last November during the beta. Oop. Definitely wasn't a robo brain here then. Of course, I was only like level 12. Okay. Let's see if that minigun is where I think it is. Yes! Excellent. Where is that turret that was just trying to kill me? On the front of the building, I believe. Yes, there we go. And I think there's another one. Maybe not. Okay. Guess that's it. Alright, yeah, again, this is a very, very, very interesting location that I really hope they do a lot with at some point in the future. They could even really use it to basically justify creating seasons for Fallout 76 if they wanted to. But anyway, let's get back to the bunker. Alright, so this is actually going to be the first video that I filmed on multiple days, because I'm going to go get those 6 additional code pieces, but even once I have them, we have to have more of what it is that these little flipboards say before we can continue with the actual going into the missile silos. And, well, before that, we of course have to do all the decryption work. And I'm going to show you how that decryption works, and we're going to go after the missile silo, and what will end up being the 25th video. I'll be bringing you back once I've gotten the remaining pieces of the code, and then we can start doing the decryption.
unauthorized access of secure transport container. Starting self-destruct countdown under dropkick protocol.
Alright, so it is time for us to figure out this whole code thing. What we're going to do now, well first let me reactivate the quest here, just to be completely open. I have had to come back and start doing this because I realized I forgot to show you all the basics of how to do the decryption when I will, I guess at this point later, show you how to do the decryption. So let's head on back on over here into the archives and see what it is that the Enclave knew about how to do their decryption. Because the Enclave also did not know how to launch the nukes. They had to figure that out for themselves. So let's take a look at Data Archives here, and Ellen Santiago. General, figuring out this code for Eckhart, the President, still weird to type. It's got a couple of steps to it. I've broken down what we know and what we need to know below. Any questions? You know where I sleep? Ragnar's daughter. Accessing the silos. Initial scouting efforts confirm your suspicions, General. You're the only one who can get us inside Silo. Donnelly's on track to make a run at the promotion process, but until he's ready, when we breach, we're going to need you with us. The security system requires a Missileer escort be present, which maybe we'll luck out and one will be alive, but I wouldn't count on it. Chances are we're going to have to fight our way into the targeting computer. But if we could find one of those Missileers, it might make our lives a hell of a lot easier. Next, the code pieces. There are 8 aide-de-camps charged with lugging the Silo Alpha code piece transceivers on their backs. We found 6 thus far and has given us some answers and a big new one. Each transceiver has a letter paired with its number, but even with 6 of the letters it doesn't spell anything. I'll admit spelling wasn't my standout subject in school. The Ragnar's daughter boys were recessmen, but we spent half the night trying to reorder it into something. Hell, Modus couldn't even figure it out. That's when we realized the letters were coded. This must be the encryption you mentioned in the orientation. We just have to figure out how they did it. I dispatched men to go to the archives in Sugar Grove, but they failed to find anything useful. Next group is going to go over Mama Dolce's more thoroughly, to see if we missed anything the commies might have figured out. They found some kind of password on one of the bodies that they never found a use for Party 651, which could be a lead. And tricking DEF CON. And this right here will tell us a lot about why Appalachia's in the state that it's in. This is a tricky one. We've got a nuclear keycard. 1. If something goes wrong during the launch, fat finger, you sneeze, whatever, we're up Craps Creek. And no one has been able to get a bead on a keycard convoy for a while now. But Jackson's been going through the documentation and he believes he's parsed out what's happening. The specifics get pretty technical. The man ended up burning through 3 sticks of chalk trying to explain it to me, but the abridged version is that the system tasked with watching over the region doesn't think things are bad enough to warrant the convoys. This also explains why all the DEF CON signage in the bunker has been slipping downwards. But if we could trick the system into thinking there was some kind of invasion here, we could get its undivided attention along with all the keycards we could ever need. Now, staging an invasion, well, we don't have the resources to do that ourselves, but it sounds like spinning up an army of Modus's butler bots won't make it bat an eyelash either. But Gray, sick puppy that he is, had an idea. If we could get the Chinese robot factory at Mama Dolce's back up and running, we might be able to make this system think the region's under attack. It might make things dicey for the folks outside the bunker, but it's a big step in getting us to launch. Now, I'm sure you're thinking the same thing as I am as I type this. Is a group of belligerent spy bots running around going to be enough? Well, if it's not, what's the President willing to resort to in order to guarantee the success of this launch? This has slippery slope written all over it. I wanted to bring this to you now, as I can guarantee you Gray's already planted the idea in the President's head. I'm not thrilled with the prospect of putting Appalachia through hell just so we can finally win this war, but if we can do this in a managed way, this might be our best way forward. Okay. So yeah. Basically, yes, Gray mentioned this to the President, and he did release all the spy bots and much more. And he's actually responsible for the... Well, if you really want to know, I've created a video of every single lore entry within the bunker, which I will link to at the end of this video if you want to take a look at it, because it's a huge amount of lore that's included in this bunker, and I think you'll get quite a bit of information out of it. Let me just drink some water real quick. Okay, so now then, we know we have to go to the Fuji Nia intelligence base beneath Mama Dolce's in Morgantown, so we'll head there now. Alright, so here we are, Mama Dolce's, aka the Fuji Nia intelligence base. Right on through here. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna run past all these things, take care of anything that gets a little too close, but otherwise, these things are no threat. Is that it? Okay. Alright. And we are heading right on over here. Specifically this little computer right back here. The Waste Disposal System Terminal. Okay, now before when we showed up here and early on in the main quest, we couldn't actually do anything with this. But now we have this password for Party 651, and we'll enter it. This terminal is for station supervisors only. Accessing this terminal without proper clearance is a capital offense. Entry 0.0.0.1. Operation Report. Base established, Director. The other agents are off working their little toys, so I can begin the real work. My initial survey showed that the party's maps are off a fair bit on the actual locations of the silos. I'll make sure to get you more accurate coordinates, and rumors of doing massive factories appear to be unfounded thus far. If anything, these sites are far less advanced than the ones on the west coast. I'll report back more when I gather information. 0.0.0.12. Operation Report. Checking in, but with little to report. Our direct surveillance of the sites has yet to bear fruit. Visitors are infrequent to the point that we believe these sites may have been mothballed or set up as decoys. We believe a new approach may be needed and request clearance to begin making contact with members of the local community to confirm our suspicions that the silos are non-functioning. 0.0.2.8. Operation Report. After finishing our initial evaluations, it is our personal conclusion that the direction of Operation Trinitite should be adjusted. A contact we established among the local populace seems to indicate that the rumors we heard were false. The whispers of Appalachian factory cities must have been referring to the nearby Watauga, which does appear rife with useful technology. It is my personal suggestion that Trinitite shift its resources over to focus on the exploration of this place for advances that might be able to serve the party's ends. But there was one item of interest that we turned up. A possible encryption method of the American launch codes. It seems they'd begun a pilot program to break them up into multiple parts, with letters paired to each number of the launch code. Spelling the English word will tell you the order of the numbers in the code, but the letters were encrypted using a technique called keyword cipher, where the letters are transposed for others in a variant alphabet. How the keyword is determined or where it's acquired, we're still not sure, but it seemed too valuable a find not to share. Okay, so I'm going to now, through the magic of editing, jump you to the point where we're back in the bunker. Alright, so the time has come to show you the whole decryption process. I have gotten all the silo launch code pieces, twice actually, because it's been a week since the last time I was starting to do this stuff. I basically ran out of time to actually get everything done. I did decrypt the entire thing last week, got the code word of jauntier. I don't remember what the actual number orientation of that was, but so we have the missile silo alpha keyword questionably, and if we take a look at our inventory here in the notes section, for whatever reason, we have silo alpha code piece F8, I7, K2, M7, Q9, U8, V7, and Y9. So we'll take a quick look at exactly how that transcription process works. Alright, so this is Excel. Not really necessary to use it, but it's a lot easier to organize things this way. And so right here I have the siloed launch code pieces, the letter number pairs taken from the following code officers, F8, I7, K2, M7, Q9, U8, V7, and Y9. Now we also have the keyword provided by the Enclave bunker, in this case, questionably. So what you then have to do is you have to take a standard alphabet, 26 letters long, and remove the keyword letters from it. So Q, remove the Q. U, remove the U. E, remove the E, and so on and so forth. In this case, I've highlighted the removed letters in red. So what you then end up with is what I call the alphabet tail, and that's the C, D, F, G, H, all the things that are not currently highlighted in red. And so I have that there. So you then create a reconstructed alphabet using the keyword at the front, right there, questionably, followed by the alphabet tail that we got from that previous section. So then you compare the reconstructed alphabet against the regular alphabet, and what you actually now start using the letter number pairs that you got off the following code officers. And so in this case you take F, highlight the F, and highlight the corresponding letter from the actual alphabet. And you do that with I, and so you find that's F, and K, and you find that that is S, and you go through the entire thing and highlight these. You will then use these letters to replace the ones from the original code pieces. And so basically if you look here, I've got the code pieces being 872, 79, 879, and again 872, 79, 879. So again, it's exactly the same thing, but in this case, instead of F, we have O, because that's what it translates to. Instead of I, like it's right up here, we have F, like it's translated right there. Instead of K, we have S, because again, that's where it's translating right there. And you do that along the entire line until you have O, F, S, T, A, B, W, L. So what this provides you with is an anagram, which is, just one of those mixed up words where all the letters, if you rearrange them, will mean something. And because in this case, it obviously doesn't mean anything. Now, you can feel free to go ahead and try to find what this word is yourself. In this case, I used an anagram solver I found using Google. And what I found the word to be was bat fowls, and I can guarantee you I would not have found that on my own. I found fowl and bat and bats and bowls and all kinds of stuff, but bat fowls I would never have found. And in fact, I learned that was a word tonight, which, if you're wondering, means to catch birds at night by dazzling them with a light and then capturing them in a net. Anyway, though, so again, what we do is when we rearrange this, we rearrange the number as well, so we have bat fowls, so it becomes 897787992. And so you can see right here, launch code word and sequence, bat fowls, 897787992, and that is our launch code. So let's get to Silo Alpha. Alright, so we now have our code, bat fowls, and our code sequence, 89778792. You may notice I'm wearing some different armor than I was in the last video, or the last half of this video, and that's because I've leveled up significantly to where I'm now, what is it now at this point? 43, and in the process I was able to use some of my armor. I realized a little too late that I did not have a T60 right leg, and so I destroyed that piece, all my other previous pieces of power armor, but I managed to find this Raider piece of power armor for that leg. Okay, so now that we have our code, it's time for us to go to Silo Alpha and launch a nuke. And I have built my camp right over here by Silo Alpha, so we'll head there now. Alright, so this is my camp. Not the greatest looking thing, because I now got a bunch of dead dogs here. And every single time I come here, I do get roped into the what's it called, free range daily quest, which I have, or event, I guess, yeah, which I have no interest in doing, but again, literally every single time I come up here, it tells me to equip a shepherd's crook, and right now I can't seem to even get rid of that off my quest list. Anyway, though, yeah, it's just a pretty simple little camp. I don't really have all that much in terms of decorations. I do have this nice shag carpeting that I got from the Atom Shop when it was free at one point, which looks a little ridiculous. But then we can head out the back door here under this balcony. And yeah, the main thing with this was I wanted this to be closer to Site Alpha, but along with that, this place does get attacked far less often than the old camp over by the White Spring did. And it's not actually that far from the White Spring either. Alright, I'm going to go get more fusion cores, and then we will get right back to where we are. Alright, so we're back. I have no idea where I left to go find more fusion cores, but I now have 6 of them. And I'm in the general area where we left, so let's head on over to Silo Alpha, or Site Alpha, I suppose. That is simply a nuclear silo hidden underground, but anyway. Alright, so as we approach, we see there's this pond here with a no trespassing sign. And there's a Yao Guai out there. Okay, so dirt road here, which seems to come off of the NIRA area, I suppose? I'm not sure, but right here we have entry restricted to MCCC and DMCCC on duty. I'm assuming that's something to do with the missileers. Now the gate is broken, so let's just walk around the side and get past those formidable defenses. Right over here to the actual silo shack. Again, this is the whole idea here, is hiding the silo. I would have left this thing alone, but it seemed to notice me, and I just didn't want to have it come full-on attack me without me taking some damage out of it first. Whoa. I'm not sure that it would have staggered around like that, given that its brain was completely detached. I don't think the brainstem was even there anymore. And without any sort of nervous system there, I don't think it would have even had that staggering function. But anyway, okay, so here we are at this shack, Site Alpha, and we've got an Overseer's log right here.
Overseer's log, Missile Silo Alpha. No one's here. Not even any military survivors. It might be for the best. I don't think Vault Tech asserting jurisdiction over the nukes would have gone over well. But it also means I'm locked out. Access is restricted to the highest-ranking officers. It's not going to be easy to fool. If we can't secure these sites... My God. The automated factory in the silo? Just how many nukes can you make?
Okay, so let's head down this elevator here. Now that we're a general, we can get through here.
Attention outbound. Activating security system alpha. Stand by for security inspection.
Okay, here we are. Now this is going to be the end of this video. That's right, this is the end of video number 24, Decryption. The next video, 25, we are going to be launching a nuke. So, just to give you something to look forward to in the next video. This has been the Original Cartographer. If you want to see more videos in this series, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications as to when they become available, hit the notification bell. If you liked it, hit the like button. And if you have any comments or questions, leave them for me and I'll try to get back to you. Hope to see everybody again next time. Thanks for watching.